Have you ever pondered why some women choose to live alone? No husband, no partner, not even appearing to seek one. The explanation isn't loneliness, a lack of choices, or past heartbreak. It lies in something more unsettling, something that challenges everything we've been taught about a woman's role. When a woman opts for solitude, she isn't lost, she's finding herself. And this kind of self-discovery doesn't come with applause, likes, or company. It comes with silence, strength, and a kind of freedom many still don't understand. No, she's not lonely. She's selective. She's not cold. She just grew tired of burning for those who never wanted to feel her warmth. There's something profoundly threatening about a woman who doesn't need a relationship to feel whole, because that shatters the logic of control, dismantles the myth of emotional dependency, and reveals a brutal truth. Most men don't know what to do with a woman who doesn't need saving, and many women are still learning to recognize themselves in that silent yet powerful mirror of autonomy. Carl Jung once said that everything we deny in ourselves becomes part of our shadow, and many of these solitary women are actually a reflection of the collective shadow. They are what many dream of becoming, but few have the courage to embody. They don't scream for love. They whisper their choices. They don't put themselves on display to attract attention. They retreat to preserve themselves. They're less interested in charming princes and more in their own peace. And that makes people uncomfortable, because while the world demands urgency to be with someone, these women have discovered the power of being with themselves. The woman who lives alone without a husband isn't lost. She's operating on a different level, a level where nothing is begged for. It's chosen, where approval isn't needed. Presence is enough. And maybe that's why she sparks so much criticism, so much judgment, so many attempts to label or explain her. But what many still don't understand is that behind her apparent absence is a presence that fills, that transcends, that challenges the emotional status quo. She doesn't want just any kind of love. She wants something that doesn't shrink her. And until that comes along, she stands strong, whole, complete. Maybe you don't get it right now. Maybe you think it's exaggeration, pride, or emotional damage in disguise. But deep down, way deep down, there's a question inside you, a quiet one that pulses even when you try to ignore it. What if that silent path is actually the only one that leads to the most important kind of love? The one that starts with you. The silence that surrounds a woman who lives alone is not emptiness. It's a sanctuary. And those who don't understand the value of that space often call her cold, distant, or even arrogant. The power of choosing solitude. The journey of a woman who chooses to live alone is not about isolation, but about a profound connection with oneself. It's a path less traveled, one that requires courage, self-awareness, and a deep understanding of one's own worth, in a world that often equates a woman's value with her relationship status. Choosing solitude is a radical act of self-love and empowerment. It's about breaking free from societal expectations and embracing the freedom to be whole on one's own terms. This video will explore the reasons behind this choice, the challenges faced, and the transformative power of solitude. We'll delve into the lives of women like Elizabeth, who found strength in solitude after years of feeling lost in relationships that didn't honor her true self. We'll also discuss the psychological and emotional benefits of this choice, drawing from the wisdom of Carl Jung and other thinkers who have illuminated the path to self-discovery. So, let's embark on this journey together. And perhaps you'll find a piece of yourself in the stories we share. The courage to be alone. The decision to live alone is not one that comes lightly. For many women, it's the culmination of a journey filled with self-doubt, societal pressure, and the fear of being labeled as incomplete. Take Elizabeth, for example, a 55-year-old woman from San Francisco. After decades of being in relationships that left her feeling diminished, she chose to embrace solitude. It wasn't an easy choice. She faced criticism from friends and family who couldn't understand why she would choose to be alone. But Elizabeth knew that she needed to break free from the cycle of seeking validation through others. She needed to find her own worth, her own joy, and her own peace. And so, she took the courageous step of living alone, not out of defeat, but out of a desire to truly live. Elizabeth's story is not unique. Many women across the United States, from New York to Los Angeles, are choosing the same path. They're realizing that true fulfillment comes from within, not from the presence of another. This choice is a testament to their strength and resilience. It's about reclaiming their power and refusing to settle for anything less than what they deserve. And while it may seem lonely at times, these women find solace in their own company. They learn to enjoy their own thoughts, their own hobbies, and their own space. They discover that solitude is not a punishment, but a gift, a chance to reconnect with themselves and their dreams. The courage to be alone also involves facing one's own shadows. Carl Jung's concept of the shadow self is particularly relevant here. The shadow represents the parts of ourselves that we deny or suppress. For women who choose solitude, this means confronting the fears and insecurities that have held them back. It means acknowledging the pain of past relationships and the societal pressures that have shaped their self-worth. But in facing these shadows, they find liberation. They learn to embrace all parts of themselves, the light and the dark, and in doing so, they become whole. This journey is not without its challenges. There are moments of doubt, times when the loneliness feels overwhelming, and days when the world's judgment seems too heavy to bear. But these women persevere because they know that the rewards of self-discovery are worth it. They find strength in their solitude, a strength that comes from knowing themselves deeply and loving themselves unconditionally. And as they grow more comfortable with their own company, they become less afraid of being alone. They learn to trust their own judgment, to follow their own path, and to celebrate their own victories. In embracing solitude, these women are not rejecting love. They're simply redefining it. They're seeking a love that honors their wholeness, a love that doesn't require them to shrink or compromise. And until they find that love, they're content to walk alone, knowing that they are enough, just as they are. So, if you're a woman who has ever felt the pull towards solitude, know that you're not alone. You're part of a growing movement of women who are choosing to live authentically, to find joy in their own company, and to embrace the power of being whole. The emotional maturity of solitude. Emotional maturity is a key component of the journey towards solitude. It's about moving beyond the need for external validation and learning to find peace within oneself. For women like Elizabeth, this maturity comes from years of self-reflection and personal growth. It's a process of unlearning the societal scripts that have dictated their worth and learning to trust their own instincts. One of the hallmarks of emotional maturity is the ability to set boundaries. Women who choose solitude learn to say no to relationships that don't serve them. They recognize that their time and energy are precious and refuse to waste them on people who don't respect their needs. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about honoring their own well-being and refusing to settle for less than they deserve. Another aspect of emotional maturity is the ability to sit with one's own emotions. Solitude provides a space to process feelings without distraction. It allows women to grieve past losses, to heal old wounds, and to celebrate their own growth. This emotional processing is essential for personal development. It's about learning to be present with one's own pain and joy, without needing someone else to validate or fix it. Emotional maturity also involves developing a strong sense of self. Women who choose solitude learn to define themselves on their own terms. They no longer seek validation from others, but find it within themselves. This self-definition is empowering. It allows them to live authentically, to pursue their passions, and to embrace their unique identities. The journey towards emotional maturity is not linear. There are setbacks and moments of doubt, but with each step, these women become more resilient, more self-aware, and more at peace with themselves. They learn to trust their own judgment, to follow their own path, and to celebrate their own victories. And as they grow more comfortable with their own company, they become less afraid of being alone. They learn to trust their own judgment, to follow their own path, and to celebrate their own victories. In embracing solitude, these women are not rejecting love. They're simply redefining it. They're seeking a love that honors their wholeness, a love that doesn't require them to shrink or compromise. And until they find that love, they're content to walk alone, knowing that they are enough, just as they are. So if you're a woman who has ever felt the pull towards solitude, know that you're not alone. You're part of a growing movement of women who are choosing to live authentically, to find joy in their own company, and to embrace the power of being whole. The transformative power of solitude. Solitude is not just a state of being, it's a transformative journey that can lead to profound personal growth. For women like Elizabeth, this journey has been life-changing. It's allowed her to rediscover her passions, to reconnect with her dreams, and to embrace her true self. One of the most powerful aspects of solitude is the opportunity it provides for self-reflection. Without the distractions of daily life, women can delve deep into their own thoughts and feelings. They can explore their past, their present, and their future. They can confront their fears, their insecurities, and their dreams. And in doing so, they gain a deeper understanding of themselves. Solitude also provides the space for creativity. Many women find that their most profound insights and creative ideas come during moments of quiet reflection. They're able to tap into their inner wisdom, to explore new possibilities, and to express themselves in ways they never thought possible. This creativity is not just about art or writing, it's about creating a life that's true to oneself, a life that's filled with joy, purpose, and meaning. The transformative power of solitude also lies in its ability to foster independence. Women who choose to live alone learn to rely on themselves. They become more self-sufficient, more confident, and more capable of navigating life's challenges. This independence is empowering. It allows them to live on their own terms, to make their own decisions, and to pursue their own dreams. But perhaps the most transformative aspect of solitude is the sense of peace it brings. In the quiet moments, women find a deep sense of calm and contentment. They learn to enjoy their own company, to appreciate the beauty of the world around them, and to find joy in the simple things. This peace is not just a fleeting feeling. It's a state of being, a way of life that allows them to thrive, even in the face of adversity. The journey of solitude is not always easy. There are moments of loneliness, times of doubt, and days when the world's judgment feels too heavy to bear. But these women persevere because they know that the rewards of self-discovery are worth it. They find strength in their solitude, a strength that comes from knowing themselves deeply and loving themselves unconditionally. And as they grow more comfortable with their own company, they become less afraid of being alone. They learn to trust their own judgment, to follow their own path, and to celebrate their own victories. In embracing solitude, these women are not rejecting love. They're simply redefining it. They're seeking a love that honors their wholeness, a love that doesn't require them to shrink or compromise. And until they find that love, they're content to walk alone, knowing that they are enough, just as they are. So, if you're a woman who has ever felt the pull towards solitude, know that you're not alone. You're part of a growing movement of women who are choosing to live authentically, to find joy in their own company, and to embrace the power of being whole. Final thought: embracing your own journey. The journey of a woman who chooses solitude is a powerful testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. It's a journey that requires courage, self-awareness, and a deep understanding of one's own worth. But it's also a journey that can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. If you're a woman who has ever felt the pull towards solitude, know that you're not alone. You're part of a growing movement of women who are choosing to live authentically, to find joy in their own company, and to embrace the power of being whole. And while the path may be challenging at times, the rewards are immeasurable. So, I invite you to embrace your own journey, to trust your own instincts, and to celebrate your own victories, whether you choose to live alone or to seek companionship. Know that you are enough, just as you are. And if this message has resonated with you, please consider liking this video, sharing it with others who may need to hear it, and subscribing to this channel. Your support helps us continue to create content that uplifts and empowers. And if you have a story of your own journey towards solitude, I encourage you to share it in the comments below. Your words may inspire someone else to take the first step towards their own path of self-discovery. Remember, the journey of solitude is not about isolation. It's about connection with oneself and with the world around us. It's about finding peace, joy, and fulfillment on our own terms. And it's about knowing that, no matter what, we are enough. So take a deep breath, embrace the silence, and let it guide you towards the most important kind of love, the one that starts with you.